Hello everyone, Hachadino over here, and as you always know, you can like my videos, also subscribe in any of the cards that it's over there, and as always, as you know also, you can just come here and check out the sheet where everything I have, and of course, let's talk about the video that we are going to make today. We are going to explain one Mythic Plus I did, all of the defensive and offensive cooldowns that I'm going to use. Remember, I'm not a perfect player, but I will try to explain also when I make mistakes that they're going to be quite frequent, or maybe not, who knows. So this is a 21 Blackroot Hold. It is not the hardest dungeon, it is not the easiest dungeon. The comp is not a crazy one, it's a Vengeance Demon Hunter, Shaman Healer, this is I think an enhancement, and this is a Moonking. Sometimes you see them, sometimes you don't. Just ignore the chat thingies because it's going to be crangled with the other one I have. But this time I learned from you people. You told me to put it on max resolution. And then just a fast rundown on the things. For some reason my Omni CD was not working. But here you have the weak aura for the tier set things. Here is for rupture things to know if it's finality and night stalker, whatever. Then this is my thingy that you know, you have seen me play. It is not a weak aura, but it is a fork of an add-on. One day I will explain if anyone cares. This is for the damage inside dances. I think it's kind of cool. And now, without much further ado, let's begin the video. This will be, of course, I'm going to have it muted because, as you may know, if you ever catch me playing Mythic Plus, I speak in Spanish with my friends, and I also have like music. So, do not be distracted. Let's do that. So, what did we do? First, we used Shadow Blades before the key began to get some extra Shadow Blades when this begins. You can use this on keys that are not at Aldazar because you can get some value out of those. Do be careful about the aggro. Sometimes you can get aggro and get hit. Like there. If you have 2 seconds of dance. And then now I am of course putting some ruptures. And then now we will begin with Tornado. And now one global went. And we use dance. Then of course we use Symbols of Death. I should have used Symbols of Death as I was using Secret Technique. And now this is a normal AoE pool. Nothing much to say. We use our cooldowns. I'm not using Banish because here the mobs are just going to get that 80% damage reduction, and also we are just going to get the other one there. Oh no, wait. I did use Banish. What I didn't use was the second round cooldowns, like Tornado and things like that. And now for Black Cold, you want to go this way because the other way has a caster that one-shots people. This one also does a lot of damage, but you can just keep interrupting. For some reason, I got hit by the elite mob thingy, and the healer and the others also got hit. And well, let's just say this is sometimes what happens in keys. Now, of course, I also used things, but I didn't want to use script technique into the super damage reduction. The tank should have moved them, of course, but as you know, always it is what it is. There, someone got one shot. Now the tank is trying to move it, but it didn't. Because you know, even if you move it, it doesn't work. You just have to kill it. I'm focusing the big one because that is what is most important. And as you can see, my keys are not like super interesting when these kind of things happen. But just to do a rundown, we have used all of our cooldowns, but we have not used our trinket again. We are going to save it for the boss, likely. And of course, we also don't want to use dance when the mob is almost about to die. And now we go to the boss. And we have here, as you can see, a chance for our rupture to be powerful one. But we didn't get it. No worries. Remember that we use Ashes of the Ember Soul with Secret Technique. We have a Vanish there to get some damage. These blades are used to use them before the boss gets to 50% because we are just going to run away anyway, so who cares? But ideally, they should have been up when we used our flagellation and everything. And now, well, we run around and kidney and chip shot all of the mobs that we can, kill them. And of course, if we are not in dance or on our cooldowns, we don't have much damage. But we do what we can. And here you might as well use cloak. Who cares? This boss is kind of a joke in 45 weeks. The Solekus can be really annoying, but we didn't get them even once. That's good. You just have to run around and leave the echoes. We're there. Now, this is one of the things that you might want to know about Rogue. Here, you could have used some downtime and have saved some cooldowns, like some combo points to get our slice and dice going into the next pool, because they takes like 10 seconds or something to go down. Here I tried to look if he had Wind Fury Totem. He had. I praised him to be a good boy. Of course, that means he lost some DPS, but it's good because he makes me do more. This passage, it's kind of a joke also. The healer just needs to dispel the tank when he has like 20, like he did. And then we, of course, use Tornado and destroy all the little boys. And now here is something in Fortified Week. The big spider. We just send our cooldowns onto it with a little bit for him to get the patrol. Meanwhile, just put some flagellation stacks and other things. And now, of course, get the ruptures on those boys. Use one banish. And as you can see, the other people were saving cooldowns for the next place, but we don't care that much. We will get them back. So we couldn't get into stealth. That is not a big problem. We don't care that much. Get ruptures on them. We got hit by the archer. Who cares? Now with tornado, of course. I used tornado without my full energy, so I couldn't use it on the first global. That happens. Make that mistake. I make that mistake. Everyone makes that mistake. We are, of course, now pushing ruptures and then going into our flagellation window. I was going to get hit by the frontal, so I used Shadow Step. On those mobs, you can use it. Now, this is a pattern from the next one, and he is full health, so we will, of course, rupture because we are not going to get into things in a while. You also use a short kidney because that's like the last knife guy that's important there. Remember to not get hit by the area from the elemental thingy. Here I didn't use tornado immediately. And now we use tornado to get some cooldown reduction. Remember, in keys, you don't always use tornado with all of your abilities. Sometimes you use it like in between dances or in between cooldowns just to get some cooldown reduction for your next dance. Here, of course, we want to get our ruptures up. And then we have our normal cooldowns, another skip technique. Now we are using slow mode. As you saw, I got a long slice and dice. This is one of the worst pulls of this dungeon for us. We have 3 mobs, and they also run away, so you can hit them always with all the abilities. You see me trying to position so I can hit the 3 of them. But of course, using my anima charged points there. Now we are going to get the slice and dice up to get ready for the boss. We got some combo points again. We may use another slice and dice. We broke the rupture 2p. That's whatever. But remember, for this, you want to stack loosely. And try to get as many Dance Macabre stacks as possible. Because I was going to do another Vanish. And then, these 2 mobs, you just rupture them and keep hitting the boss. Ideally, of course, you wait those 10 seconds to use everything with blades. But as you can see from the health of this boss, if we did that, it would have just died. So we use blades later. And then we still have 2 dances. That's fine. And this, of course, without people with a lot of cooldowns. If they did more damage, the boss would have died even closer. Now we don't have anything, but that's fine because we are going to do some joke pulls. These boys are quite annoying because they are, let's say, fragile, but still proc bursting. Here I did a mistake. You don't want to use symbols of death with tornado until like 3 seconds. to not lose the combo points. But it's whatever. Just see there, we still did fine. We only lost one finisher. Here you have to do very careful because they do a lot of frontals and things. Of course, I use Cloak because we had 10 stacks of that. Now they are going to drink Ancient Potions and be big and powerful. Tank is going to almost die. I'm going to proc the Trinket. I use a pot to not die. And I type, have to wait someone sometimes for the explosions. I stopped when we had 10 and then they did until 13. You know how it is with bursting weeks. So here, of course, we use ruptures and then we use our cooldowns. Of course, here we use tornado to get cooldown reduction before, not with or everything. We still have Ashes of the Ember still going, so it's kind of okay anyway. Of course, here we're going to proc cheat death because it is what it is with bursting. And now we go up the stairways. We get slice and dice again. We could hit the mobs that are just running away a little bit to get the combo points and other things. Here we begin stacking flagellation, getting ruptures up. Of course, we do our damage. And then on the second thingy, we have our tornado to get cooldown reduction. Because we are not using Vanish right now. And there you saw I used one Vanish to get another dance over there. I did a little mistake using I couldn't reprimand when I had full combo points, but it is what it is. Now this time, I will of course use Tornado to get some cooldown reduction because I will use my other cooldowns afterwards on the next pool. Getting some ruptures up on the big boys. I'm using my cooldowns here just to have it back for the boss. Just remember these mobs also need to die. So you need a little bit of damage on them. We don't have much damage anymore, but our boys can help with that. Here, of course, as you know, this boss has this frontal that he does. Hateful case. Can get hit by this and then you just go back. I use, of course, Tornado there. Do some damage. And then, of course, you use all the other abilities. Could have waited a bit to get the Shadow Blades. But it's also fine. So we're going to vanish. And get another dance with that. It will unsync, but that is also fine. Of course, with pucks, the boss is kind of random duration, so you don't really know how it's going to work. That's why I used everything like that. And as you see, it's already 10%, so that means that our next flagellation is not going to be used on this. We may use a last dance, like you see there. And now we have flagellation, but not shadow blades. But for pools, in general, only flagellation is okay. As you know, shadow technique does not work with blades. Even if you still want to put them because of black powder and rupture. Here, of course, we use tornado to get some cooldown reduction. So what's usually you want to do this pull together with the ones upwards, but because we don't have any control over ourselves, we have to wait. We need a 5 stacker. Here we get our ruptures. There is one that has not rupture, but of course, with one mob, we don't care that much. Here, I think I do get hit once because the down beer rock, it's kind of hiding things. I also use blades because you don't care that much about using it on the effort boss. You want it on the second one. That's the hard one. Although, to be honest, in high keys, the first one is also really, really dangerous because the random shadow balls that he does do a lot of damage. Of course, we lose one, so now we will wait for the resurrection. There was a song. I was just moving my head. And here we just hit the boy. We do use our cooldowns because it has to die. And of course, I know other people are not going to use there, so whatever. What I'm not going to use, of course, is our banish. A little bit later, at least. You know, it's already at 10%. Try not to get hit by the glaive. Have a cool weak aura like I have that says when the boss is going to spawn. And then, as you can see also, on my left side, well, Legacy of the Raven Crest is going to be applied. Of course, first you have the Super Shadow Bolt, where you want to cloak. Or use it later like me. And we use a normal dance because now, as you know, the boy is going to run away in 2 seconds. And just run in a circle. And if you saved pot for this moment, it's the time. We also proc our shadow thing. And we are going to spam vanishes now. Because it's getting annihilated. And we get a shitty helmet. We unlock our Great Bolt. And we did kind of fine, 340. Could be better, could be worse. Check out my other videos. I will see you on the next one. I will try to do this at least once every week, even if they are same dungeons or something like that, on the ones that I already have. Bye bye.